Now, right now, President Biden is in this meeting with top lawmakers at the White House that we've been talking about to talk about his funding request for Ukraine and Israel and the border, which has been sitting on Capitol Hill now for weeks. The group includes the Republican leadership, Mike Johnson in the House and Mitch McConnell in the Senate, as well as the Democratic leadership, Hakeem Jeffries in the House and Chuck Schumer in the Senate. Negotiations have been ongoing since Republicans tied the Ukraine aid to stricter border security. So with us now is David Swerdlick, who's the senior staff opinion editor for the New York Times. And also Sabrina Siddiqui joins us, White House reporter for the Wall Street Journal. There she is on the North Lawn at the White House. So they're there, right? Sabrina, I'll start with you. The meeting's underway?
The meeting is underway, and the White House just said that this meeting is really largely about Ukraine because that is their utmost priority amid these talks around the president's supplemental funding request. As you pointed out, the border is a key element of this because Republicans have said they won't support additional U.S. aid to Ukraine absent funding for the border, the U.S.-Mexico border, but also policy changes on immigration. And that has really been the source of the impasse on Capitol Hill. Now, there was obviously a question of why now? Why is the president getting more involved now? And I think this meeting really speaks to time running out with respect to Kyiv and its counteroffensive against Russia, and a real concern within the Biden administration that they really need to move forward on a deal, or it will have considerable consequences for Ukraine as well as U.S. policy in the region.
So if the president does want to get that deal done, and to Sabrina's point, if it's very important to get it done now, David, how much do you think he has to give on the border, and where specifically might there be a place for compromise or for the president to give in?
Hey, Connell, and hey to my pal Sabrina, stay warm out there. Look, I think the administration knows or should know that they're going to have to make some concessions to Republicans on immigration, and they should figure out as many concessions as they can make, including reforms to asylum laws, without losing the rest of the Democratic caucus in Congress, that will get them across the finish line with some kind of Ukraine funding, or else, as Sabrina noted, they're going to stall out. Ukrainians are going to stall out in their effort against the Russians, and President Biden might find that doing immigration reform might benefit him on the election front as well.
Right, which we're going to talk about in a moment. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.